Coming up on iNews, what are the students' reactions to the death of bin Laden?
And the SRC sits down with reporter AJ Buruca and talks about how they plan to get input from as many students as possible. Stay tuned, iNews starts now. Welcome to this edition of iNews. This is our Friday wrap-up, and I'm Amanda Heyer.
And I'm David Martinson. Thanks for watching iNews. We're keeping you connected to campus, community, and current events. Over 20 million Sony customers were shocked on April 20th when Sony shut down their PlayStation network. Customers found out 6 days later that their personal data had been compromised. Sony spokesman Patrick Siebold says Sony is working to have it backed up as soon as possible. This doesn't sit well with customers. In the wake of Sony's failure, to alert customers about the serious security risk, the company is now taking a significant hit, especially with their PlayStation 3.
Stocks this week took a downward trend with commodities such as oil and gas taking losses. Widespread concern about the future of the euro has pushed the dollar back up a little bit, as investors are keeping a close eye on the country of Greece. The Dow ended 66 points up on Thursday at just under 12,700.
Justin Osmond recently stopped by the BYU Idaho News studio. Justin is a success story. He has overcome 90% hearing loss through speech therapy while founding an organization to help those that suffer from hearing impediments. He shared some of his thoughts about his life and philanthropy with us in a recent interview.
I know what it's like not to hear. And I went through 12 years of speech therapy, comprehension therapy, listening therapy. So I had to learn through my own struggle what it's like not to hear and understand. And I mean, imagine being born into this musical family and not being able to understand my own dad's music. That was hard for me. But someone gave me an opportunity. Someone gave me a chance to hear, to speak, and to do all these wonderful things. So I kind of want to pay it forward. I want to pass it on and give someone else an opportunity. And it's interesting. I've been blessed to travel all over the world. We just got back from Africa, and we fitted Nelson Mandela with some hearing aids. And you'd be amazed to find out who actually wears hearing aids out there. But the cool thing about it is when you see the change that's wrought in their life, it brings a change to yours.
Justin will be having a book signing for his new book this Monday at the Rexburg Deseret Book between 4 and 6 p.m.
September 11th changed many American lives forever, and now after the death of Osama bin Laden, Brittany Sessions gets students' reactions.
Students share their feelings on Osama bin Laden's death and remember where they were at when the tragedy of 9/11 occurred.
Well, my limited knowledge of him was that he was a bad person who caused a lot of deaths in America, and I guess when I heard about it, for one thing I was surprised because I thought it was just a lost cause, but also I guess I was pretty happy. It was kind of a relief.
I remember I was an 11-year-old kid and they showed that thing on the news, and it was such a great shock because that's a different continent. America is a big country and I'm just a little girl. Now that Osama bin Laden is gone, I definitely will feel more safe to fly planes and hopefully we'll visit a lot of places.
I don't really care. I figure they'd probably just don't want a dead guy on TV.
I kind of agree with their decision not to have released the photo.
It's a huge something to accomplish for the United States. I'm happy that they took care of it.
Reporting for iNews, I'm Brittany Sessions.
What was lost September 11th cannot be returned, but as justice had been served, this may bring some to closure.
When iNews continues, in just a moment we will go to reporter Sasha Zimmerman for national current events.
And up next, we'll hear from the SRC and how they will get more students' voices heard. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Coming up on iNews, BYU Idaho actually has a news station.
Really? Oh yeah! Get your cameras ready, it's about to go down! Everybody in the place, quiet on the set! But be ready for your cues! We're filming this, let's go! I'm on the news!
The Mississippi and Ohio rivers have long been past their flood stages, but officials are expecting it to get worse. In some places, they have had to blow holes in levees to let water purposely flood in order to try and contain the damage to the river basin. The rivers have crested more than 20 feet above flood stage to a record height of 64 feet in Mississippi. President Obama has issued disaster declarations for the affected areas. Estimates put the loss of property and crops at over billions of dollars so far. 3 students are dead after an apparent shooting on the San Jose State University campus. No identities have been yet released, pending on the notification of the families. The alert went out to students about an hour after the shootings happened. I'm Sasha Zimmerman with Current Events. Back to you.
Thanks, Sasha. The SRC is working to increase student involvement, and reporter AJ Buruca has an interview.
Today I sat down with the SRC President Blaine Burton and his Vice President Jonathan Collins, where they talked about a student email initiative.
We really want to focus on getting input from students, and so we want to be able to have input from as many students as possible. So what we're trying to do is working with one of the administrators. His name is Scott Bergstrom, and we're trying to get an institutional system going to where we could invite all students to participate in the SRC and voicing their opinion. We're kind of calling it the student voice. But how it would work is we would send out an email to all students. When they receive the email, they'll have the opportunity to accept it. They click accept, and then we have them in our system. As soon as we have them in our system, then we can start sending them information, and then we can start tailoring the surveys that we do send out to a certain group of students.
We've seen kind of an unexpected acceptance by everybody that we've presented this to, as far as administration and students, because students want to get their voice to us, and administration thinks that this is a very effective and innovative idea, and Jonathan's been working really hard on it, and so it looks like it's going to be a fantastic tool right now and in the future for SRC.
And for more information on the SRC, log on to our website, byu.com.net, next Wednesday to find out more.
The SRC goal of getting students' ideas will get students' voices heard. This week's devotional featured Elder Donald Hallstrom. Let's take a look back at his talk.
This week for devotional, Elder Donald L. Hallstrom was our guest speaker. Let's see what he had to say to the students of BYUI. He emphasized the purpose of covenants and refreshed the minds of the students of why they are so important.
I really liked this devotional because I really liked how it talked about our covenants that we've made and our baptismal and temple covenants, because sometimes we really forget why we made this covenant.
The students felt the spirit today and liked the connection that Elder Hallstrom made with the standards we have here at BYUI.
I love devotional today. Elder Hallstrom, I love how he pointed out that our covenants are in line with the student honor code. So I enjoyed it very much.
On a final note, Elder Hallstrom left us by saying, quote, "Firmly establishing your relationship with God is the divinest legacy you can leave your posterity. The time is now." This is Denise Valladolid, iNews.
Next Tuesday, Robert C. Oakes will come to the campus. The devotional, of course, is in the same place, same time.
Because I sell.
I photo.
I write.
I lead.
iNews.
I film.
I design.
I web.
I com. Student media.
College football was shaken up last summer as the Pac-10 conference attempted to add 6 teams from the Big 12. 5 of the Big 12 teams opted out of the switch, choosing to stay in their respective conferences. BYU's football future was changed when the University of Utah accepted their invitation. The Pac-10 is now called the Pac-12 Conference. BYU has been playing with the idea of going independent, but would not leave the Mountain West Conference as long as the University of Utah was a member. Soon after learning of their exit, BYU worked a deal with ESPN and the WCC Conference. When fall hits, BYU will test their football team independent of any conference.
Pushed back behind Porter Park is a place called Four Paws Adoption Center, a place run by women who began taking in stray and injured cats nearly 7 years ago. But now that the center is growing, they hope awareness will grow with it as well, as more willing volunteers will come. This nonprofit organization is run strictly on donations and fundraisers, but the ladies have made it work so far. Each of the cats brought in the center are neutered, spayed, and fed and given the proper medical attention according to their needs. This Saturday at noon will be their spring cleaning day, where they are calling all willing volunteers to come to Four Paws to help clean inside and around the house, as well as give the cats some extra love and attention. For more information, like Four Paws Adoption Center Incorporated on Facebook.
That's going to do it for this edition of iNews. Thanks for watching.
iNews continues online at byuicom.net.
We hope to see you again right back here tomorrow, or watch your weekly Spanish iNews right here on iNews.
Thanks again for being with us.